We will be covering all of this week's top stories in The Squeeze.
And Lilia Wood is here to preview the CMA Awards.
Super excited about that. And we are also going around right now. We're at the Dome trying all the things we should do before I graduate in less than a month.
Oh my goodness. Well, Juice and Java starts right now.
Good morning, Syracuse. I'm Nicole DeMentri.
And I'm Conor Federico. Thanks for starting your morning with us.
Let's kick things off with the squeeze.
A short time ago, I ordered the United States Armed Forces to launch precision strikes on targets associated with the chemical weapons capabilities of Syrian dictator Bashar al-Assad. A combined operation with the armed forces of France and the United Kingdom is now underway.
That was President Trump last night addressing the nation with a message to the Syrian Assad regime. The U.S. coordinated precision strikes with France and Great Britain against Syria. This is a reaction to a chemical weapons attack last Saturday near Damascus.
The UN Security Council has met several times this week to decide on an appropriate response. However, Russia vetoed any attempts to take action, denying the attack happened at all.
An emergency security council meeting yesterday failed to produce anything. President Trump says these strikes are not only targeted to Syria, but also to the Russian government. In light of the attack, Russia called for another emergency meeting, which will occur at 11 a.m. today.
Within 15 minutes of President Trump's address, news broke of smoke and loud explosions over the Syrian capital. If you look at these images, you'll see the missiles flying over Damascus in the early morning hours and Syrian air defense responding. Syrian state TV insists that the majority of the missiles were intercepted. However, this morning, President Trump described the strike as, quote, perfectly executed. And the Pentagon says the strike successfully hit every target.
The Pentagon also held a briefing shortly after to address the military aspect of the strike. Defense Secretary James Mattis says the attack was much bigger than the strike conducted last year. Several facilities were targeted, a research center, a storage facility, and sarin gas, and a command post, as opposed to just one target last year.
As far as any other targets, we looked at targets specifically designed to address the chemical weapons threat that we have seen manifested. The whole world has watched in horror these weapons being used. Those were the only targets that we were examining for.
This attack comes just more than 1 year after the last targeted American airstrike on Syrian soil. On April 7, 2017, a Syrian regime facility was destroyed by American military assets after chemical weapons were once again used against civilians. However, last night's strike comes within a much larger global context.
Now, the United States, Britain, and their allies have sanctioned Russian nationals for their government's perceived involvement in the poisoning of a former Russian spy over the last 2 months. Russia and the United States are infamously on opposing sides of the Syrian conflict, and although the targets were not near Russian bases, this addition to the already tense relations could have major impacts for the future. Russian President Vladimir Putin denounced the strike after his ambassador to the U.S. warned that there could be consequences, saying it's not acceptable to insult the Russian president.
And moving to the digital world, Facebook may have sold your personal data, but it also sold Mark Zuckerberg's. The social media giant's founder and CEO testified in front of the Senate this week to explain the circumstances surrounding the Cambridge Analytica scandal. Zuckerberg answered almost 600 questions about his company, from what kind of data Facebook collects to how it uses it. This is the most transparent the company has ever been about its data collection tactics, although there is still a lot of information unknown to the public. Zuckerberg also said he thinks regulation of this industry is inevitable, but he wouldn't be the first to try and help. Now, this is really interesting. Zuckerberg spent a lot of time with Congress this week.
He did. And you know, I'm not sure if you got the message through your Facebook, but I actually got it yesterday. When I opened the app, the first thing that came up was you can go and check to see if your data was sold. I checked. Mine luckily wasn't, but they said, yeah, it is really good. But, you know, they said that because some of my friends might have had their data sold, my data might have been sold through theirs.
That's really interesting. I haven't gotten the message yet, but this is you know, it brings light to a larger issue that people really need to be concerned about their cybersecurity. And often there's times that people have done everything that they can do, and still there are data organizations that can take and without any consequences.
Exactly. And moving on, teachers will be back in the classroom next week after staging a 9-day walkout. The state's largest teachers union left classrooms and marched to the state capitol to protest their small education budget in Oklahoma and low salaries, some of the lowest in the country. However, after 9 days of pressuring state legislator, the union decided to end the walkout without the significant changes they were pushing for. The union still says this is a victory for them as their budget has expanded by several $1 million. Now, Oklahoma Governor Mary Fallin says the walkouts were childish and is glad they are, quote, getting back to school. This is a thing that we've seen again and again. It just happened in West Virginia. Now it's happening in Oklahoma. And these were some pretty big protests that were happening in Oklahoma. They went all the way to the state capitol. They wrote in Mary Fallin's parking spot. They do their job, so she should do hers as well.
Absolutely. And you talk about Oklahoma, which is the state going into this march with the lowest salary for teachers. So this isn't just about school supplies and other things that teachers need to create a successful learning environment for their students. It's also about the fact that Oklahoma teachers just make barely more than $40,000 a year. That's the very lowest in the entire country, and you get a little bit of a raise after this march, so good for them.
Exactly.
And moving on, in case you missed our Juice and Java special yesterday, University Union finally announced the lineup for Mayfest 2018. Quinn 92 will headline the event, joined by YBN Namir and DJ Orange Calderon. The event is on April 27th in Walnut Park, before Block Party that evening in the Carrier Dome. Quinn 92's hit song Straight Jacket was named SoundCloud's Song of the Month and has over 18 million streams on Spotify. And Orange Calderon is the first woman ever to win a national championship in the DJ field. If you missed our special announcement yesterday, you can always watch the full segment on the CitrusTV News website and social media. That was a great event we had yesterday. It was nice for them to come in and announce who was going to be playing Mayfest.
Exactly. Who are you most excited to see during Mayfest?
I think YBN Amir is a real up-and-coming artist. He has that song Rubbing Off the Paint, and he's really made a name for himself using YouTube and social media and all of that.
He's so young, too. He's only 18 years old.
Which is wild.
How crazy is that?
And he's going to be performing for a bunch of college students who are older for him, so older than him. So so good for him. It should be an exciting experience for them and us as well.
And also, you know, there's wine slushies this year.
Oh yes, there is.
So you know, it's really great. And the results are in for the University Student Association elections. Gufran Salih and Kyle Rosenblum won the SA president and vice president positions. They campaigned on a 5-pillar strategy, which included an unwritten theme meant to inform by students' needs once they were elected. Diversity, transparency, and community engagement were also big parts of their campaign. Both sophomores, Salih and Rosenblum, said that being younger didn't bother them, even making their motto, quote, why not now? Salih does not have previous student association experience, but the pair say it is important to have an outsider's perspective as well. And I'd say that's really important, and especially them being sophomores. I know. How do you feel about not having any representatives from your class? Usually it's the class that's incoming to senior year.
Right. I figured that it was just going to be juniors this year, but when we had them all in studio just 2 weeks ago to go over, you know, a quick debate between the 3 different groups, it was really fun to hear what they had to say. I liked their younger, their fresh take, their outsider take to SA, and one of the things that all the groups said that I agreed with is not a lot of students know what SA does. So hopefully this is a group along with James Franco and Angie Patty who can get that together.
Yeah, really excited to see what they do.
Yep. And after the break, Lilia Wood is in studio to talk about the Country Music Awards.
We're super excited about that, so stay with us.
Did you hear about the pony with a sore throat? He was a little horse. Can I tell you a cat joke? Just kidding. Why couldn't the Why was the basketball court all wet? Why? Because the players kept dribbling all over it. Where did cats go on vacation? New York.
Welcome back to Juice and Java. Nicole, this weekend is very exciting for country music fans like myself as the CMAs are being held this weekend.
Yeah, and for those that might not be country music fans like myself, it's always great to watch Carrie Underwood make a comeback, and Lilia Wood is here to talk all about that.
Thanks, guys. The 53rd Academy of Country Music Awards will air live tomorrow night from the MGM Grand Garden Arena in Las Vegas. The event will bring country music back to a city still grieving from the tragedy when a gunman killed 58 people and injured 851 more during the Harvest Music Festival on the Vegas Strip last October. Country music fans and performers like Brett Young see the return as an act of resilience and unity in their community. Take a listen.
Family was actually really encouraging and beautiful, and I think the reason it's important to bring it back to Vegas and for people to come is because you can't let something like that stop you.
Reba McEntire will pick up her 14th appearance as host of the event. The country singer has also been nominated as Female Vocalist of the Year for the 16th time. Hear what she has to say about her return.
You know, I feel really good about coming back and hosting because I missed it a bunch. You're sitting out in the audience, and when you're sitting out in the audience after being behind the scenes and knowing what's going on and the excitement, it's kind of like, I wonder what they're doing back there. Wonder if they're running long, running short. Oh, I wish I knew what was going on.
Included on the list of notable singers performing at the show is Carrie Underwood, Luke Bryan, and Kelly Clarkson. Jason Aldean will return to the Las Vegas Strip to perform after a gunman began firing during his closing song back in October. Additionally, the CMAs will honor the past in a new way this year, introducing CMA flashbacks. This year will focus on 1993 Does He Love You? Nominees for Entertainer of the Year include Jason Aldean, Luke Bryan, and Keith Urban. New Artist of the Year Lauren Elena is ecstatic upon hearing that she won. Her song called Doing Fun is personal as it recounts her struggles of her family, specifically her parents' divorce and her father's recovery from alcoholism. Host McEntire called her to share the news.
You're winning an ACM than Reba McEntire calling. Like I've looked up to her my whole life, so it was a really crazy moment. And I didn't say anything, which is surprising because I can always find something to say.
You can watch the awards show live on CBS at Saturday at 8 o'clock tomorrow night. Nicole and Connor, back to you guys.
Thanks so much, Lilia.
And it'll be a great time. Coming up after the break, Connor and I will go around campus covering things to do before you graduate.
Yeah, you don't want to miss it. Juice and Java will be right back.
I see you mobbing over her. Let's go. Let's mob. Let's crawl. Let's crawl. Let's crawl. Hey, yo, we mobbing. Come on, girl. Let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl. Hey, let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl.
Hey, look, it's those guys. Are you good to drive?
I'm fine.
How many did you have?
I should be fine.
You should be.
Go and step out of the vehicle for me.
See ya, buddy. Good luck. So turns out, buzz driving and drunk driving, they're the same thing, and it costs around $10,000. So not worth it.
They call me Maxie, but I prefer tripod. I was your above-average four-legged homie, and then wham-bam minivan. Some people pity me. Now that's lame. I still run, fetch, and swim. And the ladies love me. I'm the ultimate wingman. Just don't ask me to high five.
Welcome back to Juice and Java. Nicole and I are on campus doing all of the final fun things that you need to do before you graduate next month.
And we start here at the Dome. This is where we start, very beginning, first day of freshman year, and this is where we end, you know, really comes full circle. And so many things happen here at the Dome. I know Conor and I have seen each other quite a few times here in the Dome, whether it's a basketball, football, Mayfest, and block party, and all the different events that happen in here.
Yeah, it's so much fun here, whether you're catching a football game, basketball game, lacrosse game, everything happens in here. And it's unlike any other sports venue or concert venue in college across the country. Everything happens right here. So many different things. They do such a good job, you know, making transitions from different things. Monster Jam was just here a couple of weeks ago. They can literally do anything they want in this building. And even though it's sort of old and raggedy on the outside, it's still a lot of great memories in here.
And you know, another thing I love about here is the Dome stop. Now, I came here, and when I put my deposit down to come here, my mom made me do the Dome stomp here, and I'm very happy she did. And so I'm gonna do maybe my last one.
Uh-oh.
All right, ready?
Yep.
3, 2, 1. Oh, it sounds really
Whoa.
cool. Sounds pretty cool.
That was pretty good.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go to our next stop.
Sounds good. So Conor and I just walked through campus, and funny enough, it is Accepted Students Day, which is a lot of nostalgia for me. I remember coming to visit. Do you remember coming to visit here?
I do. I've visited a couple times. It was really a great experience the first couple of times.
Yeah, and you know, one of the great things that we love about being able to do here is the fact that the bus is right here. Not only does it connect you, obviously, to South Campus, but also connects you to so many things downtown. I mean, I remember freshman year always going to Destiny, Dino, Possibilities.
Don't forget Drumlin's, the golf course, too. You can pick up a bus to go play golf here, too.
Yeah.
All the restaurants we can go to downtown.
Oh my gosh.
And it all starts at this little bus stop right here.
It does. And you know, the bus stop also has heaters. So thank you, James
Does it really?
Franco. James Franco brought that.
Had no idea.
Thank you so much for being able to do that, because we can stay nice and toasty, especially in those winter months that seem to extend now into
Or a
April.
cold April, whatever.
Whatever works. It's just a long extended winter, but
Some of my best memories are going downtown, and so many students just like to stay here on campus in the little bubble, don't see like the bigger picture of Central New York and the downtown. The city of Syracuse is beautiful, and people like really forget that. At least the downtown is, and there's a lot of fun things to do down there, like you said before.
there are a lot of fun things and a lot of fun things around Central New York. So stick with us, because we're going to our next place.
Let's go.
So our last stop on our trip today is here at Falk College, and we just have such wonderful views. Yes, there's a little bit of a parking lot behind us, but you know, there's also the wonderful hills of Central New York, and it's just beautiful, especially during that sunset.
They call the campus the Hill for the reason. It's because we're very high up right now, and this is just like one of those spots where you feel totally like on top of the world, overlooking everything that there is to see here, and that's sort of just like my favorite part of being up on this hill. Yes, there's a lot of like walking up and down hills that can...
Especially when we lived on the Mount. We
Yes.
lived on the Mount freshman year. That
We
was
did.
a lot of stairs, but it was great leg day every day. And now walking around campus, it's leg day every day still.
Yeah.
A little less cardio, but it's good. And you know, it's beautiful. Some people head over to the water tower over there and climb that. I don't even think I should attempt that.
No, definitely not. Not
so
for
this
us.
is why we're here. And just definitely come here during sunset, sunrise, just to give yourself a peace of mind.
And we'll be back in the studio with Sexual Assault Awareness Month with Morgan Trau after this break. Keep it right here.
Look at you. You're at the top of your game. You're unstoppable. Nothing can throw you off track. Wait, is that your car? Uh-oh. Yeah, I saw that coming. That will throw you off track. You're looking at around 10 grand in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Let's try this again. Smart move. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Looking for these? You drive buzzed. It could be one very expensive ride.
First, you gotta make bail. Then pay me to get your car back.
Your insurance premiums will go through the roof.
And my legal fees just keep adding up. All told, it could end up costing you $10,000.
Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Taking care of a family member can lead to plenty of questions. Fortunately, there's a place to get the answers, for them and for you. Find articles, tips, and tools from experts and others who have been in your place. the Caregiving Resource Center at aarp.org/caregiving.
Thanks for staying with us. So Connor, I've seen the Hall of Languages in so many different colors, whether it's orange, purple, but now it's in this beautiful shade of blue.
Morgan Trau is here to talk about what this means for the Syracuse campus and community.
Thanks, guys. The Hall of Languages has been the color teal since the start of April to spread the word on Sexual Assault Awareness Month. But that's not the only place you'll see teal on campus. Teal Tuesday is one of the numerous events that the Office of Health Promotion and Student Organization It's On Us SU is hosting for this important cause. Teal ribbons were available in Shine Atrium, and the Go Teal Office Decorating Contest will be judged this upcoming Friday. By going teal, your office shows it will not be a bystander and it will support victims of sexual abuse. From last week to this Monday in Shine Student Center, there's a large poster where people can write how they would feel if sexual violence did not exist. This vision board was created to shed light on how different the world would be if there were no sexual assault. The notes written on the board will be read at the end of next week. Yesterday, SU Libraries showed a book called Jarring 3 by Mirabella Jones. She's the founder of Art Against Assault, and her project shares the narratives of survivors in a creative way. The delicate book's made of paper and sculptures and letterpress. So many other organizations are getting involved, like Women in Communications, who hosted a panel on workplace harassment, Theta Chi Fraternity, who participated in a comedic performance on masculinity, and Students Advocating for Sexual Safety and Empowerment, who are holding a screening with the It's On Us SU on the documentary Misrepresentation. Other panels happening this month are the Sport Venue and Event Managing Graduate Program's discussion on domestic and sexual abuse in the sports industry, and Food for Thought, which is run by the Equal Opportunities Inclusion and Resolution Services. It's a luncheon for all groups and people fighting sexual assault on campus. All month long, SU is shining a teal light on sexual violence. More information on this could be found at the promotions website or the Be Well Facebook page. If you or someone you know has been affected by sexual or domestic violence, please contact immediate support to help sort out what you feel is best for you to do. Trained professionals can help. You can contact SU's Counseling Center for Sexual and Relationship Violence, Vera House in Syracuse, Health Services, the Department of Public Safety, and so many more. All this information is listed online at thecounselingcenter.syr.edu. Conor and Nicole, back to you guys.
Thanks, Morgan. Coming up after the break, Landon and Wexler will break down the best places to study around campus.
Really important stuff, so make sure to keep it here.
This is the story of a boy who didn't talk for a long time. The boy liked things to always be the same. Any changes would scare and upset him. The unknown was an unfriendly place. The boy was very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where they couldn't get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. He wasn't trying to be mean, it just made him feel uncomfortable. Sometimes he would flap his arms again and again.
One day, I found out I have something called autism. My family got me help. Slowly, I found my voice and learned all the ways I could live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
They told me a bottle couldn't dream. That I would never become a superhero. But I learned how to fly. Just to come back in a new disguise. And be the hero that I've always wanted to be.
for staying with us today on Juice and Java. And in honor of the semester ending soon, you watch us go around campus just now, covering things to do before we graduate.
Yes, but the end of the semester brings more than just graduation. That's right, finals week will soon be upon us. So we have Landon Wexler here with us to discuss his favorite places to study around campus. Landon, welcome. Thank you for being here.
Of course, it's an absolute pleasure. And yes, finals week, it's a crazy time of year.
Yeah.
Nicole, I don't know about you, your second semester senior, I don't know if you'll be studying
But
much.
I've been through it the past 4 years, so I'd love to hear your list.
I would love to present it to you
Okay.
guys. So first things first, we're going to talk top study spot on campus for me personally. Haven Lounge, okay? So Haven Lounge.
Number one?
Number one. This is
Okay.
definitely number one.
Respect.
So
Great.
it's beautiful. You know that
Beautiful even with the snow.
Exactly. You see that panoramic view there? You see that every single time you're studying in there. I'm a guy that's all about views.
Yeah.
And when you're studying, you need some relaxing things to see. You see Krause Hall, you see downtown. It is gorgeous. They just renovated it like maybe, I want to say 2 weeks ago with brand new furniture.
Well,
it's gorgeous.
It's a beautiful study spot, but what's 2, 3, 4, 5 in case we can't get there?
Exactly. So second is going to be the law building.
Okay,
Law building,
far away.
Never been in there.
Me
You know,
either.
here's the thing. If you're not a law student, we're not necessarily allowed to. However,
You broke in?
Broke in. I followed someone in. Okay. However, they have a fireplace. They have an outdoor. They have like a rooftop lounge. Unreal.
Wow.
We need that everywhere else. I'm not sure. why
Okay,
we don't.
so if we don't know a law student and we can't break in, where do we go next?
Round 3, we're going the Ernie Lounges, which is
Okay.
right above the dining hall and the gym.
Okay.
Beautiful views of the promenade. It is gorgeous, and they have
Air conditioned.
That's big,
What a
big
concept.
plus. I mean, it's
Around
freezing.
here.
Yeah, shoot. I mean, it's freezing around here. However, in the summer, if it's a good place to study, for sure. Let's see.
Okay, yeah, so quick, tell us 4 and 5.
4 and 5.
Really quick.
So 4 is going to be, my gosh, 4 is going to be Starbucks, and that's no bias, okay? So
There is a little bias.
no
He does work there.
I do work there, however, this is no bias. It's crowded.
It is a great
It's
place.
crazy, but if you need some caffeine, if you need a place local, it's a great place to meet up, get some stuff done. It's gorgeous.
Last place?
Last place is going to be Bird. The classic Bird. I'm sorry.
Bird.
No views in Bird. No views in Bird.
Not at all.
No.
Not at all. However, on the 6th floor, they have the Sapphire Lounge, the Sapphire Room, which is like an Ivy League looking building or looking room with books, all that good stuff. It's gorgeous. I couldn't get up there because it closes at 5. However, it is a good place to be for sure.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much, Landon. And I'm sure everyone will be using this list to go in and go into study in these final moments of senior
Gotta go to
and
Haven
everything
Lounge.
new year.
Let's make it happen, people.
Yeah, well, before we end today, I just wanted to say thank you to everyone. Today is my last show on Juice and Java. It was the first show I started on my freshman year. I'm not gonna cry, but it was my first show I started on first day freshman year. First time on air, executive produced it. Yeah, so it's been a time here.
You have a long list of accomplishments around here. The first ever Juice and Java rundown.
Yes, the first ever rundown, yes.
The first ever Juice and Java full show without little breaks in between.
Yes, definitely
you made that
tried.
happen.
Yeah, and then you carried it on, and Isha and Vic have carried it on since then. So I'm so happy to see where everything is going, and as my next chapter begins, I'm really excited to see everything move on.
All right, well, I'm Conor Federico.
And I'm Nikki DeMentri. Have a wonderful evening, Syracuse.